Good morning, class. We are going to start with 1.3, and then next video will be 1.4. We're starting with writing expressions. So the idea in math is that you will need to be able to translate between verbal phrases, that is words, and mathematical phrases or expressions. And the issue sometimes we have is that if we get confused with what verbal phrase is being asked in a word problem, that is where we will make mistakes. So, for example, if I think total is not addition, I'll have some issues. So let's look at some key concepts, and then we'll go into some of the math. So we have four operations. Okay, so we have addition, add, subtract, subtraction. So addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Okay, now are there other verbal phrases? Yes. Okay, so there are other verbal phrases, but these are the key ones. Okay, now I want you to make note of all of these. So we have sum, we have plus, we have total, we have more than, more than. These are all in your book, so you can and increase by. Now subtraction is going to give us difference. So in math, when you hear the difference, we know for sure that it is subtraction. Less than, minus, decrease by. In fact, also change. Okay, and then multiplication will be times for product, multiplied by, and of. Now, I would say of here is the crucial one. I would say difference or change or even, yeah, change in be important. Sum or total. And division would be quotient. Divided by. Divided into. And technically, you can also think the word per. Okay, so these are all in your book, so I'm not going to leave them up very long. But again, this is just our plus, our minus, our times, which will either be a dot or a multiply, and then division. Okay? Now, basically the key thing is how these are said. So, if we look at the verbal phrases that are in the book, we see the sum of 2 and a number. So that means the plus has to be between the and. So 2 and, so 2 plus x. Number n plus 7. N plus 7. The total of 2 and a number. 2 plus x. Okay? Difference of a number in n and 6, so that must be n minus 6. So the and, or the minus, is going to serve as our operator. 12 times a number y, 12 times y. 3 of a number x, 3x. okay? So that of, and then in this one, quotient of a number k and 2, okay? Or miles per hour. That's going to be miles divided by hours, okay? Okay, so translate some of these verbal phrases. Now, we're going to get 4 less than the quantity. So quantity is going to give us actually kind of like it's a parentheses. So you're going to get 4 less than whatever quantity this is. Quantity means, let's group them. 6 times n. So we get 6n. Okay? Now, 3 times the sum, parentheses, 7 plus what? Okay? So we actually, when we see the word sum, it groups it. Okay? Then the difference of 22 and, so we have difference is going to be subtraction. So I get difference is 22 minus the square of a number. Okay, we know what a number squared is. Square of number n. Okay? Now we'll go through more examples, but let's keep going. Okay, example 2. A piece of ribbon L is cut from 8 feet long. Write an expression for you. So, we have 8 feet, and we cut off L. Okay? So, how does that work? Well, we're going to have 8 minus L. Okay? That's what we have remaining. Because we cut 8, difference of 8 normally, and L. So this is kind of a change. Okay? Now, verbal model describes real-world situations using words as labels and using math symbols to relate those words. Okay, so a verbal model, for example, is, if you look at example 3, this is a good idea. You see amount in jar. My apologies in yawning. I did wake up slightly too early. Okay. Amount in jar divided by number of people. Okay? Amount in jar divided by number of people. So you work with 5 other people, and I assume all your workers put their tips into a jar, share the amount in the jar equally at the end of the day. Okay? So, okay. Now, rates. We're just going to go through this video pretty quickly. Primarily review. So rate is comparing two quantities measured in different units. Okay, that's what a rate does. So rate compares two quantities with different units. Okay, and then if the unit is 1, it's called a unit rate. Okay, if the denominator, its fraction is 1, which you don't need to worry about. So it says car travels 110 miles in 2 hours. So we have 110 miles in 2 hours. Find the unit rate. So the unit rate is when we have one other denominator. So we divide this. What's 110 divided by 2? We get 55 miles per 1 hour, or 55 miles per hour, okay? Now you can write it this way, okay? I'm used to writing it with, I think each R actually. Anyway, yeah, okay. So this would be the unit rate, okay? And instead of actually going into example 5, we're gonna go into other problems in 1.4. So thank you guys for joining me to continue the video on at 1.4. Thank you.